Alright guys, we have episode 7 of LS1tech questions. Day of 30,000 subscriber appreciation burnout, even though I almost have 33,000 now. As of today, it just took a little bit to fix my truck and find a day that it wasn't snowing or raining. And some time. Anyway.
And I kept bothering for burnouts.
Yes.
So.
You know the drill. Here we go. Hey Matt, I recently watched What LS Stuff to Buy and I saw you recommended Sloppy Stage 2.
FCW.
Why did you recommend this over the 204-218 LS6? Hopefully this isn't a drunk Q&A. He doesn't want to get slammed. Anyway, he's listening. He's watching. So here's the thing. The LS6 works great. The issue is a lot of people are looking for the LS6 now, and the LS6 is like $250 used. And that's a fucking scam in my opinion. So unless you can get an LS6 for like $150, that'll work pretty good. LS6 has been proven to do really well. The 228...
It's not a quality, it's just price.
Yeah, and then the LS6 almost sounds like there isn't a cam in the car. I pretty much tell everybody to buy the 228 if you watch that video, because people install a 216 220 or a 204 218, and then they hear her truck,
which is heaven,
chopping away at idle, and they're like, I fucked up. And I say that in the video. People, you might think you don't care, but then when you hear the 218,
it sounds amazing.
You're like, God damn it.
My truck sounds amazing.
Should have bought a 228. Should have bought the Sloppy Stage 2. Literally, I was tuning someone's car. He was from Long Island.
Oh, the awesome guys with the red
Mustang?
Yeah.
Salvatore DeMaria. He posts on Sloppy all the time. He had the 216 Stage 1, and she's outside idling, waiting to meet up with her friend, and he's like, what the fuck is in that truck? He bought the cam, he put it in the other day, and posted a video of it idling. Anyway, is it possible? I didn't proofread the last message before I sent it. Autocorrect screwed everything up. I might have been like, what the fuck are you talking about? 84 IROC, looking to get 800 to the tire with a 5.3 and a Little John, run E85. Is there a better option that could get me what I want? I'm going to do methanol injection after the intercooler. Based on what you said, I would be pretty much maxed on the 78-75 on 3.
Isn't that better for a cam person to talk about?
I mean, he's asking about a turbo. Both cams are... Just get the billet 80. Just get the billet 80. I'm actually going to dyno. If you wait 2 weeks, I'm going to tune a car on a stock computer with... It's an L33, so it's a high compression 5.3 with a Little John Stage 2 and a billet S480 96 turbine. Wait and see. We'll see what that does. But if you're like, I want to get 800 horsepower, just get the big turbo. Because just get the big turbo. Don't get anything else but the billet S480. I'll just write that if he doesn't say what he's going on here. If you have lofty goals, guys, you got to get a big turbo. That's just how it is.
Will it work?
I have a 0253 in a Suburban that's lifted on 35s, and I want to make 1,000 horsepower and wax Corvettes. I had it built by Andy Jensen. I know Andy Jensen. Mild build, stock crank, connecting rods, floating wrist pins, oil porting, 2-inch, forged Weisco, stock, in detentions of building a magnet charger, now thinking of going with a 78-75. Andy spec the cam. Man, cams are voodoo magic. I don't know. I mean, it sounds on... I just base my turbo cams off of this and the LSA. It should probably work fine. Oh my god, all these numbers I know nothing about. Intake closing, exhaust opening. I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm not going to profess to be. I have no power goals because I don't realistically know what to expect. Yeah, I mean, dude, through 35s, I mean, you're not going to make what most people make. So just know that much. But, dude, I don't know. I'm not a cam guy. Seems okay to me, right? Like when my buddy Ryan Gregory calls me and he goes, "Yeah, Matt, I stripped out this bolt. Is it safe?" I go, "Yeah, looks good from here." On the phone. Looks good, dude. Not car related, but are you an Intel or an AMD guy? I watch the videos, no need to reply. I go back and forth between I build my own computers because I'm in the IT profession and I can't buy a manufactured machine. I cannot do that to myself. I have to build them by myself.
We have computers everywhere.
Yes, we have computers hooked up to the TV, little mini PCs, little Lenovo's, and I built a custom rig, obviously, that I use. I go back and forth. Obviously, I think Intel is more stable. It's more expensive. Sometimes it's better. The AMD can be faster for certain things, but sometimes you get weird buggy issues with AMD, and that's my opinion. I'm running an AMD 6-core right now, and I'm thinking about building a super expensive Intel machine, and then I'll probably build an AMD machine, but yeah.
You go back and forth.
Yeah, just like I have an iPhone right now, and I buy Android phones, an iPhone, and Android. I switch like once a year. You know, just like when I change turbos, I change ECUs, I change. You know, I like
to mix it up.
Yeah, I like to make sure that because someone's like everything's junk. I think it's wrong to pigeonhole yourself. Man, is that?
Your Kraken rum is really good.
Yeah, it is. It is good. It's my favorite. Long time listener, first time caller.
This guy's making me laugh already.
Recently became addicted to Sloppy Channel and looking to stuff an LS into everything. My wife says, thanks a lot, Dick.
At least it's cheap. It's not expensive.
It's very economical to do LS swaps. If you didn't know this already from watching these videos, I got a 72 Blazer. Well, at least it's like a full size. Used to run in mud bogs, stripped down to 3,200 pounds with me in it, and a 427 big block. Wow, well the big blocks are heavy as fuck, so you even if you put an iron LS in, you'll drop some weight. Was looking at building a 540, but not a fan of the price tag. I've kind of fallen in love with the idea of running junkyard shit with a turbo or two just to piss people off. I'm a huge fan of What the Fuck Were You Thinking? Yep, I like that too, obviously. My biggest issue is our pits are only 150 long. How effective would a turbo setup would that be? I mean, with a good converter, you can foot brake pretty much into boost. I don't know, like, what kind of power goal. I mean, were you running 540 all motor? I mean, I've posted videos of it. One of the sloppy guys that helps Mark out, does a lot of his fabrication. Super smart guy, Dan Salvatore.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty
Lives in Jersey. He has one of those mega trucks. If you search my channel, you'll see it.
So cool. It's
like almost Bigfoot. It's almost a monster truck. But it's like a huge, it has like 42-inch tires. It's fucking huge. And that guy has a turbo LS in it, and he was spanking on people. And the biggest thing he ran into is when they gear those motors way down, he was all over the rev limiter on every course. He had so much power. That was like his biggest issue was changing. He had so much power and wheel speed that he was limiter all day long. I mean, a turbo is super effective in that distance as long as I mean, there's a lot of those questions, just like people build a relatively large turbocharged. You just have to make it responsive. You just have to like get a good combo and see, that's like tricky shit where a converter guy might be able to build you a converter that works at a racetrack, but that guy might not have very good knowledge of turning over giant tires, and it might work great, it might not work great. I mean, turbos work great when they're balanced out correctly. So that's like the only thing I can say. Did that guy say he watches, or?
No.
Should I reply to him quick?
I think you'll be alright.
Just say it and go.
Yeah.
MS or GM? Well, there's a wiki article for this, I think is what you're asking. The last car was stolen. First EFI car. Don't want to rely on someone to tune it. Taught myself a carb, teach myself to. Sure, with that mentality, you can do whatever you want. Really. I'm that kind of guy. Well, I'm not going to pay anybody to do shit. I'm going to figure it out. Even if I do it wrong 10 times, I don't care.
That is you. 100%.
EFI Noob.
Look at Quad.
Micro Megasquirt or the E38. Yeah, I mean, the E38 isn't totally super easy to jump into. On the wiki, it says go OE if you want trans control. Yeah, I mean, are you going turbo and everything or just CFI? starting with scratch, OE harness, 6L80E. You're going to have to run a stock computer to run a 6L80E. No, as far as I know, there's no aftermarket support, or at least computers that I use do not support a 6L80E unless it's a stock computer. And maybe turbo it. Yeah, I mean, you can, if you call, you could call PSI Conversion Harnesses in Toms River, New Jersey, like this way for me. This way, fuckers. He sells harnesses that'll plug into this, and he sells base tune computers, and he'll give you like a 09 Silverado tune, and you can flash with HP tuners. And then from there, it's not too difficult to get the air and fuel sorted out. It depends on your area, where you are. Maybe you can find someone that'll help you. I decided to write you since you guys love S10 so much. I know this is probably a common question. 58X trans control. Horror out a pic of the car that was stolen. Still offering a reward.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh, man, that does suck. Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks again. I'll be sure to watch in the following weeks. Okay, he's watching. That fucking blows.
Click on the picture.
Someone's,
you can make it bigger just so you can show it.
Someone stole this dude's fucking clean ass money. Nah, it's a signature size, yeah.
Well, if anybody sees it or knows about it.
In Kentucky, we know a lot of people in Kentucky. Shannon and Cameron's in Tennessee, but in the same area, Louisville.
And your sister.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. That's touch and go. The 58X with the 6L80E needs to be a stock computer. If it's mostly stock to start, it's not that bad. You got to learn how to make the mass air meter do the fuel stuff you want. Honestly, if you're in Kentucky, look up a shop called Boost Addicts. My buddy Shannon Taylor works there. And if anything, he can set you up with something that runs if you're having difficulty. And then he can maybe teach you how to do small tweaks if you buy HP tuners. And I can send you a configuration file for a 09 Silverado. If you watch, I did a video with a Roadmaster that has a LS3 and a 6L80E in a 96 Buick Roadmaster, and the 09 Silverado tune works mint for that. It needed like just a tiny bit of transmission tuning and a little bit of air fuel touch up, but other than that, it fired and ran and shifted. It was great. So let me know if you get a hold of Shannon, and then if Shannon ends up touching your car, let me know. I can give him the tune-up that I use for the Roadmaster. Yeah, and Megasquirt will not do a 6-speed yet. They don't have any plan. I mean, basically the transmission shifts off CAN bus, so there's no way to like. I don't think they're gonna fuck with it very soon.
Is the request line open?
I have a request. Race render overlay for the next 1000. I can do that. Absolutely. I was thinking that the other day. No one seems to do it, and the videos are that much more informed. You're totally right. I will do that for you. I could actually go back. I have the data logs, obviously, for the polls when I made like 992 and shit. I could make an overlay video and redo that video. But yeah, sure. I'll do that. That's no problem. You're right. A lot of people don't show that. My buddy Ryan Ackerman does race render in like all of his videos. Tune cabinet. Neil Roberts. Hoping you're drunk when you. Well, I'm like 20%.
We both have our
I'm like 20% here.
After a long day of burnout and Aussie fingers out the window.
Maybe you'll be sympathetic towards my request. What are the odds you can throw the tune from Travis's stock 15 tune-up you did in the tune cabinet? You did Travis's in November. Would like to take a look at this. I can do that. Sure. Shit. If I don't do it, hold me accountable.
Send an email.
Send an email to sloppymechanics@gmail.com, and I will just email you the file. How's that? I'll send you Craig Kish, who has a two-wheel drive one that I picked up like 40 horsepower, and Travis made a bunch of power too. I'll send you both of them. You can fucking take a peek at them with your fucking spyglass and get all up in there. Fuel Sump! Matt. This guy is a scholar. He has a comma and then another paragraph.
And look how nicely it's
capitalized. Love the videos. Noticed you were interested in a sump for your fuel tank. My business just so happens this is that I was talking about. Like, I always want to. It's like PDR, performance diesel something research, but I always want to say PBR, diesel products. Shut the fuck up, John Martin.
Aww,
Friendly reminder to flash an ECU for John Martin tomorrow. Can you grab a computer quick over there and put it over here so we remember to do that?
Yeah, for tomorrow.
Yes, John Martin. I told him to remind me. I told him to do that.
Anthony Scott's. Where's the other one?
All the way in the left back there, there's a stack of 4. And then there's drive-by-wire ones in the back. Yep, you're good. That's it. It should say done on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it over here. Yeah.
No, you can't have
We'll flash it then. If you are interested in one, shoot me an email. I would be happy to give you one to help with your build. All I know is if you want 1 or 2 outlets, keep up the good work. I'm building a 5380E88 S10. Following a lot of your advice. Cool. I don't like S10s that much, but
There's some people like them. But okay.
that's fine. A lot of
It's
people
your own
like
cup
them.
of tea.
My issue with S10s, obviously, is everyone that owns a completely rotted 100 horsepower one thinks it's the baddest fucking shit.
Except for Mike Diano,
with no exhaust.
Cool.
His goes like 11.0 on motor,
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. So
he goes like 11.20. So he's not full of shit. But I feel the stereotype. It's like when you see a kid with tilty wheels on a Civic. You're like, look at this asshole.
He vapes.
Yeah, you can't. You have these feelings inside. I have them. I can't help it. Anyway, whoa. My main business is turbos. This guy is very well written. Zach. North American Turbo Systems. No shit.
Did you use email address?
He did. Keep up the good work. Okay, our main business is turbos, mainly for diesel. Hot farm pulling tractors. Pick up big trucks and the likes. But then again, if you ever need a rebuild on that China S480, shoot me an email. I can help you out with a balancing and a kit. No shit. Consider it all a token of my appreciation for the info you openly give away. Just let me know if I can do anything to help. Well, we will see shortly if what I did will produce enough fuel. And if I do 3 pumps and that still doesn't work, because it's cheaper for me to... I think I said it in the last update. This is the 5th. I uploaded the video like yesterday. It's cheaper for me to add another $100 pump to my triple setup in the tank, keep my filler neck, everything else. It will be harder for me to get a single pump that's external, that uses a sump, that feeds that kind of fuel amount. Even a 4303, which I love dearly. I love the 4303. It's my pal. It's a honey badger of fuel pumps. It doesn't give a shit what you do. I think I might need 2 of those to make over 1,000 on E. I don't know if a bunch of you can chime in, but anyway.
Tell me your email address in case you don't remember to email.
Yeah, I may hit you up. Thank you. Awesome. Holy.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's, guys, it's 37 degrees in here, and I had some alcohol. And I type on this weird fucking keyboard whenever I'm out here. This is a keyboard designed for looking up parts and listening to music. It's not ergonomic. It's horse shit. I just said I'm going to use my in-tanks. If they piss me off, I'll let you know. I'll hit you up. Because I was talking about that in the one video. He might have seen it. Gusto or no?
Well, look at this guy.
Thanks for sharing, helping, testing. No need for response. I watch all your videos. Glenn is deaf. My deaf man is texting me.
BYODP.
My first question is, would you skip right to 220 injectors on an LQ4 with a billet 80 VS turbo? My goals are 550, 600 for the street. I'd like to push the envelope as far as I can with the track on E85 or race gas. I mean, here, we're right back where we always are, guys. People want 500, and then they're like, I'll take whatever I can get. I mean, I'm doing almost 1,000 tire with this turbo. If you're interested in that kind of thing, you probably need a turbo this large. 550, 600, you can get a 7875, and it'll punch and do 600. But I made 700 tire unlocked, and my converter was struggling, so that turbo might go farther. Ackerman's car will be coming soon enough. He dropped off his block at the machine shop, and then he's going to put his entire rotator in and a fresh piston, and then we're going to see what billet 7875s do. Circle D billet, is that a lockup? 81C10. Little John BTR. Little John and BTR are the same company, basically. Sorry, buddy. They're the same. Yeah, anyway. Not that it matters. LS3 heads. Kind of a waste, in my opinion, for a turbo car. I have totally stock truck heads from 1999. My rods are non-floaters. I'm toying with replacing the rods and pistons only. Yeah. I mean, 5,600 is already pushing the limit. Unless you have lockup. You know, you're making that 10% extra. Yeah, I mean, you got a whole lot of, well, he said he watches the videos, right? Mm. Yeah, I mean, you're right at 550, 600 is the limit for those rods, buddy. So, 78, 75, and this horsepower limit, they'll all be happy together. If you put a billet S481, and, I mean, like, people here are like, I want to push the envelope. What does that mean? That's not a goal. That's just an open-ended thing there. And that right here is... To make more than that, you do need 220s. You know, you should just go right to the 220s. If you have 80-pounders, they should go 550, 600 on E or race gas. I mean, you're all over the board here. Race gas, I mean, a lot of people don't understand. To go E85, you need like 50% more fuel system. So out of fucking nowhere, you need 50% more of your fuel system to make the same amount of power. So just to make this switch, if you're at 80% of your injector duty cycle at 700 horsepower and you just decide to put E85 in, you're going to have a fucking bad day because you can't do it. You can't do the same. You're going to have to make like 460 instead. So it's a hell of a swing. If this is a lockup converter, you'll make more to the tire. You'll hit your goal easier. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do rods and pistons. Like I'll just go back to what I always say is just get it running. Just fucking get the car running and drive it and see how fast it is with 550 tire. And if you buy a 7875 and you're not happy with the overall power, sell that turbo or put it on a shelf and put it in something else you build. I feel like people wait 2 years to get a car running and then they're unsatisfied with it anyway. Just jam that shit together and go try it. And if you don't like it, swap it then. Sell the shit to your... Make all your friends go turbo LS. Sell them your junk. Yeah, guys, it's good. It's good. It's really great. Sell it to them. Jam a screwdriver in it. Thanks for everything you do. I have bought all your vids. Thanks. I love them. I'm too far away. Also need more drinking in the PM vids. I watch all the Q&As. Would you ever do a basic vid on setting up settings in MS2.3? I mean, the basic setup thing... I guess I could. I want to do educational videos, but if you get one of my bass tunes, it pretty much has everything. I don't know if you mean you want an entire video of me explaining every option, which I don't even know every option. I can just go over what I have, and what do you think? Just download a bunch of the basses and look them over. There's... What's funny?
You want to do how-to videos.
I do. I'm going to get into it. I want to get on. Actually, if you guys are watching this, there is like, we both researched this, and I want to do that. I want to make screen capture videos. I want to capture a video while I'm tuning on the dyno. I did it the other day. It's a little bit shaky, but you know, I'm learning. I'm trying to get a process in so I can put up good videos. There's like 15 websites where you can upload videos and people can purchase them on like a subscription basis or a price per video and log in and watch them for however long they want. And I don't know which fucking one to use. Everybody says they're bad, they're good. Help me out with that, guys, and I will put up videos endlessly in my spare time.
Research everything everyone sends you.
Yeah, I do. I honestly look at a lot, and I research shit to where I almost fucking spend too much time on it when I want to buy stuff. Watching all your YouTube stuff. Love the info. Got a 0360 80E. Awesome. 78 short box step side Chevy daily with HP Tizzles. I want to turbo it and take it to the track and make 700-ish. I love these. I love 700-ish. Watched your 2500 twin setup, and it lit off right away. It made 800 torque at 3000 RPM, and you switched to the single and made way less torque. Yeah, part of the issue was there I had a funny camshaft, and my converter was a little too big. So if I would stomp on it, the converter would go past the point where it makes all of its power, and it would just be on a decline the whole way. So it kind of drove like trash. The turbos were too small, which is why it made so much power so soon, because they were completely capped at like 3000 RPM. And I am also an advocate for punch you in the face turbo setups. I will always choose a laggy setup other than a responsive setup. I have friends at road race, and they're like, I make 20 pounds of boost. I make so much average horsepower. I come out of a corner. I have a 2-liter, and it comes out of a corner like a 6.2-liter high compression V8. And I'm like,
we just had this conversation.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't give a shit. I want a turbo car to me is like late 90s, early 2000s Supras, where you hit it and it's like nothing, not even that bad, but you wait and then it is like super rewarding, almost unusable amounts of power. That to me feels awesome. It feels rewarding. I've probably said that 3 times already. I can't think. That's awesome to me. Some people like immediate response. They want it to be like a blower and make power. They want it to make 400 and level. And I want it to be like 400, 500, 800, like stupider the whole way. And that's just a personal preference thing. I mean, a lot of people are like, 800 foot-pounds at 3,000 RPM, that sounds great. I mean, the truck struggled to make like over 500 tire at a decent RPM, and it just would go fucking nowhere in a drag race. I knew it. I mean, people, if you're pulling a boat 800 foot-pounds at 3,000 RPM, sounds awesome, but it'll probably fold your goddamn rods out. I was just not happy with it. It was funny. It was a weird setup. It definitely needed... I mean, Cameron has a twin-turbo setup that makes... We made 884 to the tire with twin 7065s on a 6-liter. You can get 7065s from Varenne, and they light off pretty fast. And those are 900 horsepower tire capable. But to me, a guy posted a video the other day that built a car that was similar to something I've built. And he's like, here's a video for you guys. And he brake stands. And it's like, brrrr, and it comes up on boost and it goes stupid. And then he pedals out. You can hear it to like quarter throttle, and he does a nasty burnout the whole way. And I'm like, man, I love that struggle. Too much power that I can ever use. A lot of people don't realize that when you start a turbo car burnout like that, you can go to like an 8th throttle and continue your burnout. All motor guys are used to like staying in the hammer the whole way and not even hitting the rev limiter in high gear. And it probably hooks up in high gear. I just uploaded that 30,000 subscriber video, and I'm doing a burnout at like quarter throttle all the way down the road, and you can almost hear the tires. They want to hook, and then I'm like, blah, and you finally hear the turbo light, and it immediately smokes the camera out in the back of the car. Like, I had so much power on tap up top. That's what I like. So it really depends. Like, you almost have to have friends that have turbo cars and drive a few of them and be like, I like the punch in the face late, because to me, a car that's very responsive, if you drive it a lot, doesn't feel fast anymore. And the point of building a car like that is to feel the rush every time you drive it.
Like my Evo.
And sometimes a little bit of weight and double your power feels better. I would say the word rewarding a lot, but that's the point. You built the car to have a turbo, to have that punch up top. And a lot of turbo cars feel like they have unlimited amounts of power. Like, you're like, I have so much power, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. So that's, you know, you got to weigh in all of that. He said he watches the videos?
Yeah.
I was good.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of twins anyway. I'm really not. Because you're buying 2 turbos, you're doing twice the plumbing, you have 2 wastegates, you have twice the drains, twice the feeds. You literally have twice the problems. Like, if you have issues, you got to look at both. Like, it's just...
It's a headache.
Really, mine is not very... Wow.
What I want to know,
He spelled it wrong.
Yeah, I know. It's with a K.
Curious. Love all your vids and the fact that your wife is into the hobby too as well. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing all your knowledge about trial and error, not writing to bother you about my junk.
What happened to the 240? So I can answer that. So
Look at that, a question for Jamie.
Yeah, I can answer it.
Shit.
So last year I put the car up for sale and sold it. I shipped it out across the U.S. and said goodbye and built a turbo truck. I had fun with it, I enjoyed it, and it left.
Bam. There you go.
And I still have the turbo truck that everyone keeps asking about.
Everyone's like, where's that red truck?
Oh, it's here. It just can't drive in the snow.
It's out there in the snow with one-wheel drive.
Yeah, it can't drive in the snow.
It'll be fine, guys.
Stuck.
No problem. I thought this would be a great read if I put... Yeah, I must have said I drink Kraken.
I'm sure you have.
I have a couple questions I need you to whisper some advice on so you won't listen and do whatever you want anyway. Oh.
Oh, burn.
I have an 88 notch. Purchased a Gen 4 2008 non-VVT. What though? A 5.3? 4.8? 6 liter? Stock wiring harness E38. Here lie my concerns. This man's well written too. Who the fuck writes that and starts a new paragraph? A fucking scholar.
You.
No. I have a full Hunnet. What's the best way to tune this car with that trans? Gold box, stock, HP tuners, E38. Honestly, if you're going to turbo it, did you say turbo anywhere here? He says on 3, okay, 2 wastegates, yeah. Anyway, gold box, yep, gold box. Or a micro, but it has less features. Really, I'd struggle with this anymore because the budget stuff is really cool. If you want to go fast on a budget, that's cool. But if you actually really want to go fast, it's hard to beat. The gold box is slightly more, has a complete plug-and-play harness, and it'll do, since you have a 400, if you're going to do a trans brake, it has integrated bump box, onboard data logging, onboard boost control, traction control. Like, all of it's there for free, just waiting for you to use. So, after using it a bunch of times, I want to push people into it, but they're like, oh, but it's $1,290 plug and play. And I'm like, a Holly's $3,000, buddy. Like, anyway, would you recommend buying a harness? Does he say he watches the videos?
Yeah, he watches.
Watch it. Okay, good. Yes, I would just go, if you're going to race the car, an E38 is not the friendliest to like set up with speed density and race features. There's so many safeties you can implement with the gold box, like lean air fuel cutoff, boost shut. Like one day, like something's going to be funny and you're going to be cracking your boost limit and be like, oh, like you're not even going to think about it. Your motor's going to be fine. If you had a stock computer and it decided to run away, you toast your shit. What do you have to do to get rid of the drive-by-wire? Super easy. You buy like 100... It's like $95 to $105. There's the 92 millimeter LS3 throttle body. We have one on Mark's car. It's like $90, Chinese throttle body. Would you recommend buying harnesses? Yeah, buy the complete plug and play gold box. We have 58X tune-ups. Look up like Shannon's on the Sloppy Wiki page in the tune cabinet. Shannon Taylor tuned his 58 tooth motor. And he's doing great. Just check your timing on the 58 tooth motor. Check your timing on all the motors if you can. I can't do it. I can't seem to figure it out. Scott Clark has me on that hook. Would you, and you wouldn't do a kit from On 3. I didn't have a welder. What are you putting it in, a Fox body? You might be able to put in like a Fowler manifold. I'm sure you've inspired, yeah, Endless. Of course, I hear it all the time, and that's one of the, honestly, no cheesy moment. Awesomest thing about what I do is hearing that people are building stuff on their own, or that they thought they couldn't, and going fast for cheaper than they thought they ever could. I actually like to hear that. That's why I do what I do. I stomp through miles of shit to help people. I realize 99% of people are a lost cause, and 1% like builds a fast car, teaches me something. And that's why I do what I do. The CX Racing kit, people say, it is the cheapest, I think. Like it's cheap, but then people say it has fitment issues. But then I think, like, why are they buying the cheapest kit in the world and complaining about small fitment issues? And then what I have heard, this has 2 wastegates. I think it has 1, and people say it creeps on most setups. So you could buy a CX kit and put a wastegate, another one, or one in a better spot. I don't really know what's the best deal for that if you can't fab or if you don't have a welder and stuff like that. It gets difficult. You could try a KB manifold on a Fox. I should try a KB or a Joey Fowler manifold or a Trick Flow or There's so many of those. I mean, everyone copied each other, but it's like a perfect design.
Oh, it's the same message. Go back. It's about the 240.
It's the same. He just double sended it or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, double sended. Listen to me. Got a sloppy question for you. No need to type a reply. I watch all your videos. Big fan of yours. Been LS swapping 7 years. Awesome. I currently own 2 LS swap cars, a 69 Mero and a NA LS30 383 Turbo 5.3 swap Nissan. 240 has gone 9s. Unopened 0453 I got for 350. No shit. I just threw in a tick stage 2 and all the necessities, and I'm about to make a change from stock PCM to the MS Gold Box. I did not yet. I wanted to make a video. You saw me mark my balancer, right? I have had issues, and I've followed everyone's guide on marking the balancer, and my timing is off like over 20 degrees, which I have to say is not accurate, obviously, because the car starts and idles correctly and doesn't backfire. And if it was off, it's off roughly 22 degrees from my mark, which must be incorrect, so I'm going to revisit that. And that means I made 992 horsepower to the tire on like -8 degrees of timing. So that's incorrect. I haven't done it yet. I would love to do a video and show. P.S. Another way to tell if you lifted your head if your radiator has ballooned. It hasn't. It's plastic. It's shit anyway. It's filled with brown shit from 220-some thousand miles of the 4-cylinder motor anyway. It's hard to tell what's going on in there. It's fine. My overflow's been empty. Even during the burnouts, my overflow hasn't had a trickle of water in it. What I'd like to do is hook up a pressure sensor, a transducer to my radiator and start doing pulls and seeing if it pushes again. At this point, yeah, I thought it was the head gasket, but if you watch a couple of my other stuff, this might be February 6th. I put up stuff on like the 10th where I said I had a perfect storm basically of a bunch of issues. I was running lean. I was hitting my fuel and ignition cut on air fuel, and I was tickling a lot of safeties on the computer, and they were turning off fuel and ignition. So I think all of that, coupled by being very close to mechanical limit, is what rattled the motor and bent some rods. I don't think I actually heard it because the pistons and everything were great. All my ringlands were...
Can you take a break then?
Yeah. We will be right back.
I'm just going to eat these and...
Okay, we're back. I did not get around to verifying the timing. I do want to do more of that. I would actually love to check it.
I need to get you a better timing light.
I don't even know if it's that. I'm gonna check and see if I marked it correctly. I mean, I'm pretty sure I did, but I could be wrong. What I am interested in is how far it is off, if it is off at all. But what people say is it's a swing of like positive or -8 degrees, usually.
So that light might be okay that I got you?
No, that one like doesn't work at all.
I still need to buy you a timing light.
Yeah, but Ryan has a really good one that we've trusted for years, and it worked. We just used it the other day on something.
You told me to buy the same one he's got.
I watch all your videos, no typing. Woo! I know you're relieved. Yes. I'm up in cold-ass Canada in July, and we're purchasing a dyno and starting a shop here. We don't have one anywhere near here. I'm curious how you got into dynoing, any formal training, or just hit the ground running.
You just learned to floor it.
Yeah, I've always been curious how you keep your vehicle from downshifting when you hit watt. Keep up the great vids. I hope I hit 1,000 too. I hope I hit 1,000 and back it off nicely and
drive home.
It doesn't blow up for like a week, and then I can wave my internet dick in the air and just go like this to everybody.
You can wave your
I can
fist.
wave the rubber fist that guy got me.
What did you do with it?
I put it in the other with the motorcycles. It's hanging out with the fucking bikes right now. How did I get into dynoing? It's the same thing where people are like, why is a dyno in a paving shop? I got into cars because there was like almost no car scene that I knew of in the area. And I was like, how do I even find... Nice fart cannon. Hopefully that's on audio. How do I even know of a dyno in the area? How do I even find somebody, whatever? And my buddy Corey O'Brien knew Troy. I don't even know how. I'd have to ask Corey how he knows Troy. Owns a paving business. And my buddy basically bought the dyno because I'd actually have to talk to Troy and make sure, but this is why, basically, is how I understand it. In 03, 04, the Lightning and the Cobra came out, and all of him and his buddies were buying them, and people were blowing them up immediately because it was a new car. It's just like the Coyote Mustang. People were blowing up Coyotes. Stock, Bama. Everyone makes fun of Bama. Bama tune, blow your Mustang up. Stock, blow your Mustang up. And now you can make like 800,000 horsepower on a stock Coyote. Anyway, people were popping Lightnings, and Tim got SCT lessons, a guy that works at the paving company, he's the estimator, and Troy, the owner, and they bought a dyno, and they did just enough SCT tuning to pay for the dyno payment. And they did some stuff on the side and mess with their own stuff all the time. And I got hooked up with them from Corey O'Brien Racing early on, and we would go there and fuck around, and because Cash for Clunkers didn't exist, we'd buy $100 cars, and Corey had a nitrous refilling station, and nitrous at the time was pennies on the dollar. It was cheap as fuck, so we'd we'd buy a car for $100, spray it, scrap it for $300. Everything was all, everything was good. Life was good. And we would bother Troy and Tim so much. When can we get on? We're going to spray a car till it explodes. And eventually, years of this, they're like, how about I give you keys and an alarm code? And you do this, you just do this shit whenever you want. You schedule some tuning and give me some money and, all of that stuff. And that's how I really have no formal training, just from experience and messing around. Obviously, at this point, it's like, even though it's messing around, it's been like 13 years of messing around on the dyno. So how do I keep the vehicles from downshifting? That's complicated. A lot of cars, if it's like a 4-speed, it won't downshift at like, you get it up to like 65 and you roll into it. A lot of times they just are not set up to downshift. It depends on the gear ratio and the tune. Some of the cars, they're Chevys, and like in HP tuners, I can connect the scanner, the data logger, and I can say, go into third and stay into third. Like if I manually select third, it won't downshift. Now that doesn't always work, but I can lock or unlock the transmission, the lockup clutch, and tell it to hold a gear. But most of the time it's just learning, like on dyno days, if people have an auto and it's not a sport shift, you kind of get it to, I guess a general rule of thumb is get it over 3,000 RPM. If it's a gas car, get it over 3,000 RPM and roll the pedal down, and it'll usually stay in that gear, that decent highway gear. Like if it has overdrive, you go into, like if it's a 4-speed, you go into third, and you get it up to like $3,000 and you roll down, and it usually won't downshift. Some of it's trial and error. Sometimes I do 6 dyno pulls on a car, but most of the time I can force a gear, or I change the tune just to hold, like to not downshift under 55. Just hold third forever. So that's how I do it. There's a lot. That's a multi-layered answer. That depends on the car and a lot of stuff. Purple turbo piping in response to your last video about...
Not purple.
It's periwinkle. It's periwinkle, dude. Get your fucking colors right.
Called Crayola.
Making your dick look small on Mark Kiger's 66 Chevy 2. In response to your last video about purple turbo piping making your dick look small on Mark Kiger's... I guess that was a guy that... I can't even remember this.
Google
if
it.
owning that car would make me lack size, then I don't want to be big. That's just funny. This guy's funny. He's just talking trash. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's true. A lot of people would exchange a very small penis for having that car. It seems awesome. Yes. Because I made like, I think I ranted about if you are having masculinity issues about having periwinkle piping under your hood, you have a lot of other underlying problems. You probably beat your wife.
Honey.
I'm subscribed to your YouTube.
A little aggressive.
So no need to type and reply. I love your work. If you could call it work. I love how your wife and you support each other through the projects. My wife and I recently bought a 05 Tahoe.
FTW.
She loves those
They
cars.
just don't fit in our garage.
Is that the... Yeah, they're... we're running out of space over here in Sloppy Central. The 6 car just ain't fucking holding up.
I've had to outsource my garaging.
Yeah, we have started parking things other places. 05 Tahoe, is that the same body style that you have? I think it might be the Cat Eye. Like the Cat Country 06 Silverado. I believe it runs an LS7.
Oh, it's the one prior.
Yeah, it's the cat eye. My query is about supporting mods, I guess. The planned parts list is a 7674 eBay. ARP, don't do studs. Don't do push rods. What's your horsepower goal? Do you have reliable 650 foot-pounds? Does this have a 60E in it also? Is it a 2500 Tahoe? Because asking for that much power all the time in a heavy car is going to roast your transmission all day long. LS2, LS6 will work fine. Yeah, you're right about there's usually better low end in the smaller camshafts. LS2 springs probably aren't going to cut it with boost added on top. You're probably at least do pack 1218s, at least. If it's going to be something you're going to drive all day long and you expect good power out of it for a long time, just put the dual springs in it. Some of the BTR dual spring kits like 220. It's peace of mind if you're going to be driving it a lot. If it's a project car, you laugh, you put 1218s in it, and when it makes a lot of power, you go like this to everybody. Ha 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 ha, I didn't spend any money. But if it's something you're going to drive a lot, it's the same thing. I have the discussions with my friends who own shops, and they're like, shops are expensive. And I'm like, well, that guy, he has to give you a result. He's held to a result. So he's going to put a little bit better products in it. FJ20 or similar injectors. I don't know what FJ20s are. Is that like a Honda? I mean, you're talking about FJ20 is like a Subaru motor? I don't know. 650 foot-pounds of torque available in the mid-range. Custom map, custom manifold, Bosch. No, don't put a Bosch on a 05 Tahoe. Just put a Walbro 450 in the tank, in the stock tank. A 044 is an external pump. Intercooler, the VS Racing, yeah, it's like a 30 by, yeah, by, you could do it by 3 bar. Always go with the 3-bar sensor if you can. Get the BR7s, they're safer. Decap stock truckers or put 80 pounders in it. An 05 Tahoe should be super simple to tune for like your local shop. A KB Racing manifold or a Joey Fowler or a Trick. Yeah, hit up any one of those guys. My buddy Joey is actually like on back order because he's a college student. Comes home on weekends, builds and ships the manifolds.
Makes magic and just sends it out and goes back to school.
Yeah, so I mean, just follow the guide. But sure, you could do an LS2 or an LS6. But chromoly push rods, waste of money. ARP head studs, waste of money. I don't know if there's like a horsepower goal. If you want a reliable 650 foot-pounds of torque in the mid-range, you need like a big blower. You need like a huge blower on that car and then have that set up correctly. The 7674 will probably work great for a 5.3 with a cam. Any one of the mild to wild camshafts will work fine, but just do the in-tank pump because you already have it. Just check if the 05 Tahoe has a pulse width fuel pump, like a FPDM, a fuel pump control module. It'll pulse the Walbro and burn it out. So you want to see if you have return lines, and if you don't, you want to consider making it return. Save all your money on that chromoly ARP, blah, blah, blah. Try to put the 3-bar in. Anybody in your local area should be able to handle that, like a P59 ECU tune. But yeah, I mean, Jamie's truck is a 4.8 with the 228 cam, Joey Fowler KB Trick Flow style manifold, and it has a 7065, and it makes full boost at like 1800 RPM. So that's something you might want to like consider, just punchy down low, or just change the gear ratio on the damn thing and see how that does. Honestly, like if it's not 4-wheel drive and you want some punch down low, put 410s in it at least for a heavy fucking SUV. I put 456s in Jamie's truck and everybody still continues to lose their mind, even though the top speed in third, so much better. It has tall motherfucking tires, like 31s stock. It does like 130 some mile an hour in high gear. Most of you people are never going to go that fast.
Asshole from the north looking for an...
Nice. Is that Canada?
Oh, why'd you write so much?
I just want to thank you for what you do. I recently follow your YouTube forum. Oh, the forum I don't really touch much. I created it because people wanted it, but man, I haven't touched it in like 2 years. LS turbo setups, blah, blah, blah. I like the budget. Everyone likes the budget. Everyone wants a $1 turbo car. I'm looking at converting a car to turbo setup from a carb. Yes, I'm a bit of Neanderthal. No problem. Anybody can switch at any time. It's currently gone. Oh, wow. 120. That's not bad at all. You must not 60 foot very good for a fucking 120. 87 Monte Carlos SS 04 LQ9 799 heads. BTR double, LS9 head gaskets, ARP head bolt. Jesus Christ. Off-shelf TSP 230. That's a big all motor cam. Holy shit, 650 lift. I've been running with the ignition and MSD 6010. My car is a TH400 PTC 10-inch you recommend. Flash is a 4700. Rear end is a Ford 9, 31, 411. Racetronics 340. Fine for all motor. 8 feed, 3/8 return. The goal would be to get the car into the 9s. What HP will be required? What does the car weigh? You don't say what it weighs. Most of the time, race cars, you guys are like low 3,000 range. 600 tire conservatively gets 9-second run with a good 60 foot. It doesn't sound like your car 60 foot's that great if it goes 1120 at 120. I mean, that's pretty close to what it should go. Does he say he watches the videos?
Yeah.
Okay. My engine has roughly 11 to 1 with the 789. Should I go back to 317s? You could just run low boost and have someone tune it conservatively. Will my fuel system need a bigger pump lines? Ontario, Canada. 0 supply of ethanol. That's fine. Thanks for reading my message. If you don't respond.
Scroll up. Make sure he said that. Thank you for having. Oh, okay, he didn't say about.
I'll type him a quick one anyway.
And tell him to check the video.
Yeah. That cam is a little big for a turbo car. Let's just start with that. Let's start answering him here.
Casey's coming tomorrow, and he's bringing parts for the Colorado. FYI.
The S475 is good for a big cube. So the cool thing about having high compression is you can make a lot of power on low boost. You can still be conservative if you have someone tune it. You could keep the cam and the heads. I'm a big fan of just add a turbo to what you got, buddy. Just fucking go for it and be conservative, or tell your tuner to be conservative. But a high compression all motor setup that already goes kind of fast usually needs very little boost to meet your goals. The Racetronic 340 8 feet is a lot. I would go, what does he say? HP required. Probably less power than you need. Yeah, Walbro 450 is a good upgrade. Keep the 380 for something else. The 8 feet is huge. That's fine for a lot of power. Any recommendations on turbo size? Yeah, I said that already. Yeah. VS will sell you an S475, but the S480 is like not much more expensive, and it's a world-class turbo for like China, and especially for a 6-liter. Just make sure your 04 has good rods to make that kind of power, and your converter and everything's up to the task. Yeah, I mean, you could easily make a 6-liter, and an S480 easily has the power to like shit down anybody's neck. So it's just how you manage it.
Nice choice of words.
Yeah, I mean,
shit down somebody's neck.
That's a lot. You can make a lot of power. I mean, look at, I have a 6-liter and an S480, and I have like 1,000 wheel on tap on relatively low amount of boost. I mean, I make 714 to the tire on 14 pounds of boost. It's fairly disgusting. I'm impressed with it, to say the least. It's more than I thought it would make. And then it makes upwards of 1,000 tire on 20 pounds. So what the fuck is going on there? Yeah, I mean, he pretty much has plenty of motor as long as his rods are okay. S475 will go like 800 tire. I said I'm seeing almost 1,000 wheel at 20 pounds with less compression than this guy has with the billet S480. So other than that, he's okay. He didn't say what size injectors or anything else he has. Junkyard LQ4. Oh my god, here we got some replies. Hey Matt, I'd like to get the tune once you figure out the idle issues on your truck for the 210 pounders or what? Yes, I plan on buying 210s if they work. Okay. I can put the 210 tune up on the wiki. Maybe I'd like to make another dyno hit before I do that. I could put up what I have right now. The idle is fairly close. Right now, I don't know what it is. It's given, if I bump it into reverse, it dies. Like, my reverse is just like, it's like hitting a wall. Maybe I have to check my transmission line pressure or something else is going on there. But I can 2-foot it into drive or reverse and then lift off, and it's totally fine. It'll drive around. But then every now and then it's giving me fits, and I'm not totally sure what that is. But yeah. Does he say he watches this shit? Yeah. Yeah, I'll upload that because I don't think I have a single bass tune for the gold box yet because I'm still messing with my truck, but it starts, runs, drives right now, so I can just go with that for now. Hi Matt. For the second time, I watch all the videos and I need a response. Thanks for the response to my last question regarding how to wire my twin pump setup. It took some 10 gauge wire directly wired to my Wally 450s, and I have each separated so I can run each. Cool. 10 on each is a good idea. I have 8 on 2, and that's like pushing the limit for my amp draw. I might run an additional 8 if I go with the third pump. So I have 2 8s. Because of the amount of amperage I want to pull, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I won't bore you. Fuel pressure on stock returnless setup with just a Wally 450 was around 58. That's fine. And cruise was 48.50 under 12 pounds. Although now that I switched over to returnless and rewired the pumps, it has the same fuel pressure idle cruise, but jacks up under what? Did you say you put a returnless? Switched over to returnless. Now I can hold fuel up to 18 psi and decapped. Wow. Do you think that the rewire, the fact that the regulator... Yeah, he added a regulator to do returnless. Yeah, a real regulated boost setup will work better. I did notice the regulator in the stock returnless is the exact same regulator, just no vacuum. What are the limitations in the factory returnless setups? About 1,000 tire. I started running out of fuel about 900 tire on my return. Returnless can go pretty far. Cameron has basically returnless rails, but he has an aftermarket regulator hooked up to his returnless rail. It's tricky. Keep up the good work. Take a drink, hopefully, if you're drinking.
You failed. You got a refill.
Oh. Hope I answered your question. I'm going on. Pissing in the wind.
Oh, this is exciting.
I like...
Should have just said helicopter.
Helicopter, buddy. You don't even know. I have an L92 4080 bore. Woo! 10-1. L92 comp 921s.
Motor's carb.
LG G6 times. Every time I say comp springs and I cringe, people message me. I sell comp springs. They're fine. Why do you talk shit on them? Anybody I know at comp springs? Like the 918s broke. Like all of them. That's not true. I know like 2 people that haven't broken comp 918s, but do a quick Google search. Anyway, what are your thoughts on adding a Pro Charger or Vortec on about 6 pounds? Well, E85 is magical 105 octane at least. So 6 PSI and some high octane is basically fuck all. It's not, you'll be fine. Motor is carb. I'm thinking about injection with a 4150. Motor will live most of its life between the mid-range. Airboat? Holy shit. I don't want to beat the bearings out of it. I've never tuned an airboat. But a Pro Charger on low boost sounds like you'd have tons of mid-range especially on ethanol. You just have to know that your consumption you're gonna get like half the gas mileage on ethanol. I mean, if you have an airboat, you probably don't give a shit about your mileage.
Why does Modern Speed sound so familiar?
I don't know, because you're thinking of Modern Performance, Chris Ortiz.
Chris Ortiz, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do a lot of blower cars. I mean, you just gotta. Certainly, ethanol is great if you're going non-intercooled. That fuel is harder to, hot air affects gasoline much more than ethanol. I have a bunch of friends that race E85 cars, non-intercooled, that leave off their trans brake like Chris Bisher at like 200 and some degrees. They start a pass at 200 degrees inlet temp. You're gonna have to talk to somebody to actually like build stuff like that. People ask me all the time about doing towing rigs and stuff like that, and man, I just don't have experience with tuning someone's car that pulls trailers and shit. I would love to do it. I would do it one day, but it would involve like hitching their car, trailer, everything, and going for long drives up hills and doing some tuning and checking everything and using like stuff I've never used before, probably like an EGT probe, and watching long-term temperature rise and stuff like that. So I might seem like quite an expert, but as far as that goes, I don't know enough about that. I don't want to beat the bearings out of it. Well, don't put a fucking ass load of ignition in it. All right.
How is it getting cold?
Yep. Should we fire the fucking Juju torpedo?
No.
I'm having problems with this ECM. Great. I have a blue-green. That's your fucking fault. Should have got a PL1. P59 sucks my dick. What? Oh, shit. 4L80E 6-liter. Problem was I was wanting to use your tune from a 2500. It's a PL1. ECM I have has a much lower resolution. Fuck. Did not find this out until after I had a harness made. Drive-by-wire sorrows. I had thought initially that the blue-green would be better, is that it has 1 meg. It has 1 meg because it carries all the drive-by-wire horse shit. But found out that the OS uses it all and leaves only room for a low-resolution table. They fucked you, bro. It's probably half of the size from a Red Blue. You're right. They done stole your fucking lunch money. Using the blue-green for 3-bar, I'm lost. I don't know if I should spend all day pasting a column at a time in the table or what. I could use 2-bar OS to give a better resolution, but I can understand. Yeah, I get it. I mean, are you using a cable throttle? Put a PO1 on it with 3-bar, with the good resolution and everything else. Bought your tuning videos, followed a long time. Please, if you have ideas, let me know. I think, man, I don't touch drive-by-wires because I know cable so well. I just tell people, run cable. I have bass tunes, and we can get pretty far. I've done drive-by-wire all motor, and I did one drive-by-wire map sensor car, and it was enough to piss me off to the point where I was like, when people ask me what they should do, I'm like, do a cable car. Just do drive-by cable. I think there is limitations on the drive-by-wire setups where they won't go to 3-bar. I think there is 3-bar drive-by-wire, but I don't know. I'll just say, like, can you use a PL1? I mean, if you can use a PL1 and you're in a shit spot, I'll sell you a PL1 with a base 3-bar that isn't a hunk of shit. Well, the tune might be a hunk of shit, but the rest of the computer will be ready for you to do your magic. When using a flex, are you just using the flex dialogue settings or using the tables? Yeah, bro. He's asking about Megasquirt. I'm assuming like a gold or MS3 or something qualified. It automatically adds the fuel based off of the ethanol percentage. You don't need to switch the tables. You don't need to blend the tables. It just does the percentage based off of the percentage of fuel based off the percentage of ethanol, and you're done. All right, 6.0 or LS1?
Spent a lot of money.
Right away, like I'm getting vibes. Just started watching your YouTube channel. I love it. Anyway, I'm doing a project for a drag racing motor. Opinions is, I mean, 03 Vortec has probably got shit rods in it if you want to make a lot of power. Maybe 600. Okay, those are good goals. You could do 0360. 800, LS1 with crankshaft. Piston also has heads. Holy shit. Do you want the car to be really light? Aluminum LS motor is going to be 100 pounds lighter than an iron motor. 110 on some of them. I would rather get a running motor, but I want to hear your advice. Some people sweat lightweight. Yeah. Also, I think it's easy to drop sleeves on aluminum motors. It's easy to rattle a sleeve. Hey. Hey. Do not reply. Do not. He's giving demands immediately. Thanks for the helpful information. 68C10, 5.3 Gen 3 stock cam, LS6, looking to do AM380, 7875 D caps, have a micro coming. What's the success rate for people tuning their own engines? What's the success rate for people not burning their own popcorn?
Hey, I can't make popcorn.
It's something I would like to learn and figured MicroSquirt would be an easy platform. It totally depends on your learning curve. Like, some people are like...
Some people can do it, some people can't.
Yeah, I mean... some people have zero issues. Like, literally, my buddy... I'll throw John Pachuik. I think I said Pachuik correctly. He's been blow-through carb his whole life. Recently was like, fuck it. I'll try EFI. You know, fuck it. He thinks about buying a harness. He's like, you know, they're expensive. I can probably build my own. He, like, reads the LT1swap.com diagram on how to do your own harness. Builds his own harness. I flash him a computer. He does his own wiring. He's like, dink, and the car starts and runs. He brings it down. We make 600 tire. I mean, that guy follows directions really well. He is not a moron, and we did extremely well. And he even took it out and made like 6, 8, 10 pounds of boost on the tune-up, which makes me nervous as fuck. But he's like, I'm looking at my wideband and everything seems okay, and I know my bass tune doesn't have a lot of ignition in it. So I was like, kind of, my brain was like initially like, what are you doing? But then I'm like, he's really good. He pays attention, so he's probably okay, knowing that I don't have a lot of ignition in it. No, go straight to boosted. I mean, a bass tune is usually very safe. If you're used to carb, you can check your plugs and mess around. And I also had the factory motor Mace to do a Saginaw 3-speed on the tree. Well, that's fucking weird. Which will likely shit once I make reasonable power. You say in your wiki you don't like any standalone controllers for the A-to-E, but I'm wondering... you can do a micro and a micro, and it'll shift the trans. No problem. Shannon Taylor's done it. I'm using a micro right now. This has a MS3 Gold box.
Watch my finger. And
a micro squirt controlling the trans, and it works really good. So you sure, put an A-to-E. I'm wondering... Yeah, it has. I mean, some of my older videos, people might be wondering. They'd be like, oh, that isn't out yet. No, it's fine. I've been literally driving for a year on MS3 Gold box and a micro squirt, and you can easily do a micro squirt for engine and add a micro squirt for the trans, and they're fine. They're awesome. I think Shannon went easily low 10s, micro squirt shifting, micro squirt doing the engine, 2 micro squirts. Yeah. Anyway, go for it. Sure. I mean, if you're one of those people that's objective and you take your time, you're not going to have any issues. But if you're like, I'm going to floor this thing, and if it blows, I don't know what I did, that's an issue. I would say the biggest issue is people have a newer laptop, and they get a USB to serial connection device, and it has they get a shit one and it has issues with connectivity, and it all boils down to the learning curve with connectivity. But basically, if you have a bass tune from me or Shannon or anybody or EFI Source, you have a fuel and an ignition table, and it's as simple as learning to get the stuff that you need in, running correctly, and getting a good result, and watching what happens, and you know. Import 5.3 turbo message crucial. What? If you were one of the hobbits from the Lord of the Rings, which ones would you be?
Those movies are so fucking long you can't even watch
Oh my
them.
god, they are. They're forever. Which one of the hobbits would I be? Probably the one that like stays out of everything and gives the least fucks. Like none of the main ones.
I can't watch the movies.
There's Frodo, which carries the ring, correct? And then there's Sam, which protects him most of the time. And that shit's drawn out forever. I don't think I want to be any of those. I think I want to be like the little blonde guy that just shows up and eats food and fucks around and then leaves.
Isn't that how you are now?
Yeah, that's me. That's who I would be. Because everyone else is like, we're serious and what's the ring and our duty. And the one guy's like, yo, when's breakfast? Yeah, I'm going to be that guy. I don't know who he is, but that's me. Go away. Read receipt? Okay.
That's fucking weird.
This guy wants to make sure I read his message. I read it.
He's got a gremlin.
Bucktooth.
With a gremlin.
I'm broke as fuck. I can't afford a trans brake and interested in doing the 80E trans brake. Did it ever cause damage? No. People ask this all the time. We've never had damage. I don't use it every day on every single thing that I build, so I can't give you longevity issues, but I can say there's a topic on LS1tech highlighting all of this, and no one has ever reported a problem, despite the haters. It puts the fucking car in third gear. You brake stand it, you have less mechanical advantage. It puts more mechanical advantage on your converter. Converter goes way up, and you hit a button, and it downshifts into first gear. It's similar to flooring your fucking Silverado, and it downshifts, but it's like not already, you know, it's fine. It's no worse. I think it's better than a trans brake.
Everyone's wondering when you're gonna.
I'm gonna go do it right now.
No, you're not. You're touching.
I'm gonna cut the wire on that bitch and weld it shut. Serious question. What a guy. Penny for your thoughts.
Matt hates pennies.
I do. I throw them all out the window. If you don't know that, it's a serious thing. I video myself throwing the pennies at the windows and send them to these.
He puts them in parking meters.
We park in like Bethlehem over here, and they don't accept pennies, and I put $3 in pennies into the parking meter. And people look at me like, what the fuck are you doing? And I laugh maniacally the whole time. I thought you mentioned a few videos back that you hated forward-facing turbo headers. Yeah, dude. I've been thinking about getting them for a twin setup. Honestly, people are like all car show about that stuff. And it's a complete waste of space. It disperses a lot of heat into the car, under the hood. It burns all your goddamn plug wires off. I think it's like a show car guy thing, and I think if you want your car to look good but not be functional, you're a total fucking idiot.
Oh, here we go.
Some cars have a funny front suspension setup, and they work okay, but I think that you are way better off doing a KB or a trick or
Collar.
the backwards style that goes into the log that comes into the other side, because then nothing's in the front of your car. You're like, I don't have front end space. I don't have a lot of... So I think that's for people that want to pop their hood and be like, yeah, guys, check out my shit. And I'm like, man, how many plug wires did you go through on the way over here? Or you... And then they go so damn far forward that they're in the way of all of your shit. And then those guys have like their... They put that stuff on, and then they make everything else work around that setup. And they dictate their entire build over these fucking forward-facing high bullshitters when they didn't really need to. And that's my big gripe, if you can't understand. I'm thinking about getting them for a twin setup. Maybe less welding and hot side pipe. Like, if you want it to look cool, I don't think it looks cool because immediately my brain is like, look at all these engineering flaws. But I'm different from a lot of people. Other people are like, wow, and they get a boner. And if you want to give guys boners at car shows, you should buy them. I'm NA right now running a modified truck manifolds. I would just put a KB manifold on. What kind of car do you have? A 2000 G... See, now this is where it gets funny, like, because Faller has like an older 3 series, and there is no room to put stuff back. Thanks you and your wife for being awesome. Thank you. Yeah, strut towers. I mean, do what you can. That's the thing. You have to do what you can. But at the same time, I think the back and around log fits almost everything.
What kind of car does he have?
And then people are like, well, that doesn't work. I'm making 1,000 tire with it. My buddy Jarrett foot brakes like 178 miles an hour with a street car. He's making like 1,300 horsepower with the shit stock manifold feeding a log on the other side, just like this. So that stuff works as long as you don't want to make it look pretty. I say twins are a total waste, especially the BMW engine bays seem extremely tight.
That's exactly the BMW that I had that I asked if you wanted to swap. And
yeah, and then the steering rack wants to hit the manifolds. I don't know. There's almost no front end room, so why do you want to give up 80% of your room to be turbo piping? You're like, cool, my radiator's here. I'm going to negate my fan and run all of my hottest exhaust piping in front of my radiator and limit all of my size. You know, that's my biggest gripe. I hope you understand that.
I'm pretty jealous that he's doing a swap in one.
That's cool. We'll buy another one and do it. Hi, Matt. I appreciate it. YouTube, appreciate LS homies. 99 Rado, 4860E 2x2. Well, at least you can swap this easily to an 80E, being that it's 2-wheel drive. I recently purchased a GMC Savannah third. Oh, nice. So you're going to do the entire transplant. Both are drive-by cable. I have a few questions. Could you help? Will the cross member from the van work? I have no clue. Try it. If not, you weld a little tab on the back of your 60E mount that holds the 80E, and it's like a couple inches back. It's no problem. Stock drive shaft will work. Just put a slip yoke on it that fits. Just get a conversion U-joint that fits the 80E and hope your drive shaft doesn't explode. You could try to use a stock drive shaft, try to have it balanced. A lot of the stock drive shafts come apart. It's like you're a total dice roll. If it's aluminum, like, you know, I don't know enough about, I don't use stock drive shafts. I get good drive shafts, actually. I've never had drive shaft come out. I get drive shafts done all the time. What harness and computer should I use? Use the stock one, because you already have the 04 Silverado. Just use the stock one. Unless you want to race the fuck out of it and you need other... You don't need special motor mounts. Nope, your stock ones will work. Is there any parts I need off my old motor in the van? If stuff doesn't fit and your other parts do fit, use those parts. You have the swap vehicle anyway. This is a funny question. Whatever fits, buddy. Don't sweat it. Do you have any other tips you could share? I mean, they're both LS motors. It'll drop right in. The 80E mount is like 4 inches farther back than the 60E mount. So swap the one from the van. If the cross members don't match, weld a tab on the end, and you're done. Use the other stuff. Drive-by cable 04 is like the best shit you could ever swap, especially with 6-liter and an 80E. That's like the most solid setup you can start with. Just fucking do it. Just get it done. I watch it. Don't answer, fucker. I know you usually... Oh, shut up. Shut the fuck up. I know you usually stick to turbo stuff. Yeah, because all motor, as my buddy Corey O'Brien says, is all disappointment.
Seriously.
All disappointment.
Don't even waste your time.
You're like, bam. And you're like, bam. This motor's nuts, guys. You see how bad this motor's badass, guys.
Turbo all the things.
This motor's badass, guys. I'm flooring it right now. Can you guys drinking? Oh, you're drinking your coffee? Oh. Yeah. Naturally aspirated cam. Tons of Google searching. The Sloppy Stage 2 is a good naturally aspirated motor cam. Stock LM7. Walbro 255 on the frame rail. Ooh, that's an important detail there. That stock computer 71, 3600, T350. Ouch. I'm going to do a T56. I'm going to rail gears. I'm going to strip all my synchros out like a motherfucker. 9-inch heavy as fuck for no reason. 355s. So I've been looking at cams similar to modern mouse build. I don't know anything about that. Chevy High Performance 212. That's super small for an all-motor cam. 400-ish. I'm into street driving, lots of twisty roads. I want a cam that has all-around good performance. Not a dog. Buy the sloppy stage 2. I may turbo later. The sloppy stage 2 likes turbos and motor, apparently. Budget is a worry, as I need to get a baffled tank and HP Tlizzles. If you have a Chevelle, you should buy a Tanks Inc. tank with a Walboro 400 or 450 included. It'll do 700 tire on gasoline through an auto. So once you go T50 sizzle, you'll be fine. You'll be able to shred that thing on command. Do the sloppy stage 2 228 230 jegs cam for about $240 on sale, $295 regularly priced. You'll pick up about 46 tire. Settle with that. If that's not good enough, don't waste all your goddamn money doing all motor mods. Just go straight to a turbo. Buy a KB Trick Joey Fowler manifold that fits around that weird ass double A arm setup. No fucking problem. Slam it in there. Have the stock computer tuned.
Go do burnouts.
Do massive burnouts. Yeah, get a baffled Tanks Inc. tank. I have never bought one, but I know 12 people that have, and they are super happy with it and said that it's worth more than they purchased it for. Woo! Colorado fuel pump volt. Yeah, this guy, I think he commented. Well, because I'm not running. What size wire are you running for an engine ground? Yeah, I mean, all of my stuff's fine. The basic thing that I'm running into is this alternator is self-exciting, but it only goes to 13 volts max without the computer bumping it up. And I read what you said, and I am interested in, I'm going to play with this in the next couple days, and I'm going to wire resistors and other stuff to the stock 2-wire setup and see if I can knock it over 14 volts. And I'm going to bring my 200 amp jump box to the dyno that's hanging on the ceiling right above this computer. And if I have fuel delivery issues, I'm going to crank this bitch to like 100 and some amps and hook it right up to my battery and get like 15 volts and see if that makes a difference. And I may consider doing voltage booster, like a booster pump, but I'm not going to buy a booster pump for $350 and have it explode. I have plenty big wires. I know you might not believe me, but I have plenty of large wires. I have lots of good experience wiring swaps. There's lots of large gauge stuff going positive and negative. The fact is that this alternator excites on its own with no wires and goes 13.5 volts. And that's fine with me, obviously, until I need that maybe 1450. It goes from 13.5 to maybe like low 13s during a dyno pull at super high RPM when it's out of its efficiency winding range. Yeah, I mean, no problem with all that. I know it helps. I don't really have a voltage drop issue. You might be thinking I'm dropping from 14.8 to 13.0, but I'm not. I'm at like low 13s all the time. It's a very steady input. So I don't really care about that. So I can't imagine the half a volt is going to do a whole lot for me unless I severely over pump my alternator and blow it out. I mean, the jump box might be a good idea. I'm a fan of not stressing out. I mean, it's funny, I'm making 1,000 horsepower on a SBE, but I'm not a fan of smashing the shit out of, like, pushing. All I know of people from booster pumps is that the booster pumps blow all the time, and the fuses blow, and then they don't have any fuel pressure up top. So I don't really like those too much. I've never used one personally because $350+ for a voltage modulator is a complete waste of money when I can do a much larger pump or another pump and run them all at lower voltage and not stress them all out. Anyway, I hope you get all of that. Love the Q&As, no need. Been doing some research, grabbed the 5360E, started seeing posts you can't use a truck intake. On what? On the Colorado? I have a truck intake, bro. It hits the firewall for sure. You just hit it with a hammer. Yeah, I literally have like a 3-pound mini sledge and I was like, dink, and then the truck intake fit. Yeah, you just bump the firewall in a tiny bit. It's no big deal. If you're worried about hammering your firewall, you should reconsider your swap. You hammer that shit. You can put the motor and everything in, and then you go to put the intake in, and it won't line up, and you're like, oh, what the fuck's going on? And it's hitting, and you're like, oh, bam! And then it fits. It's not a big issue. Been following you since Mr. Regular, Buick Sloppy. I'll watch the video. No need to reply. Anyway, I picked up an 86 Volvo DL200. Give me my lab rat. Franken wrenching. Okay, it looks like the amount of money I needed for even half the power of an LS swap. Yeah. I want to autocross it. But if it's... But if it's too ungainly in its file form, then ice cream burnouts for... Okay, yes. He definitely watches videos. Ice cream burnouts. I mean, what? I mean, you're like, burn a tire. Like the video I posted today. Burn a tire, eat an ice cream. What could be better? If the snow ever stops, I'm going to be picking up a 4.8 V8 04 100. Damn! I'm pretty much buying it sight unseen because of the price. He says the oil pan intake is off for inspection. The motor has 151. Anything I should look out for? Look and see if the fucking rods are broken off and dangling out of that fucking thing.
I can do the video.
For what?
I'm reading forward.
Oh.
How to do a burnout?
Ultimately, yeah, I mean, just look. I mean, most of them look dirty, but like if everything's there and you can spin the motor with like a 1/2-inch wrench by hand with no plugs in it, it's mint. It's fine. Noob guide to LS build? Thanks. I'm looking to do a manual. They're not my preference. No, they're super expensive and not that great in my opinion. People want to spend 4 times the amount to put a manual in, and that's fine. But a lot of them are total fucking excuse factories. Anyone in your circle have any favorites? Yeah, I mean, T56s all seem pretty much blown up unless they're $2,000. Some people are doing the NV4500 out of pickup trucks. Other people are swapping. I think the most economical is for like $150 to $300. You can buy a Z32 or a Z33 or a Z30. The Nissan 5-speed and an adapter plate and be well under half the price of a T56. Lastly, this is my first rear-wheel drive vehicle. Don't kill yourself. Don't shoot your eye out.
Yeah, don't shoot your eye
Don't shoot your fucking eye out with that Daisy BB gun. I would love to see you how to do burnouts video, even if it's not serious.
That's what I can do.
Apply throttle, motherfucker. No. Got any of those troubles? What's funny is people ask me for stickers all the time. I don't cut stickers. What's cool is people are just awesome to me and they send me stuff when they make stuff or they just give it to me because, and then I have them and I give them to like 1 or 2 people and then I'm out. Like I don't sell them or ship them and I don't have like a shipping factory.
Yeah, the only stickers we sell are the ones at Dino Day.
Yeah, we sell some stickers at Dino Day that local guys cut for us. I don't have any like, there's a bunch of people that cut and sell that stuff and I kind of give them liberal rights on that.
I'm pretty sure Jordan Frank does the Struggle Street stickers.
Jordan invented them at the same time, roughly this guy that sent me some.
But find Jordan Frank on Facebook, the Chevette guy.
He says he just got about 50 of them. He can sell you some, and then like you can hit up like, I mean, it's pretty much.
Just go to Jordan.
Yeah,
Jordan will help you.
Jordan could, I mean, he's not super rich. I'm not saying the dude's poor, but he could definitely use your help if you want to buy stuff from Jordan Frank or the Red Rocket Chevette. If he is selling them, you should get them from him. He's the originator of the Struggle Street stuff, so you should get it from him.
And he's our sloppy child.
Yeah, he's our sloppy child. How to do burnouts? I mean, it all depends on how stupid, aggressive, retarded. I mean, it's one of those things. It's a artistic flair.
Yeah, you can be going into a ditch.
You can dump it, or you can brake stand it, or you can do a little bit of both, or you can do a little bit of onset, or you can upset the car in a turn, or you can hit a pothole and knock that bitch loose.
The best thing that I would suggest, because I taught myself how to do burnouts in my own car, is to just go to an open parking lot and just fucking practice, because Matt's not allowed to teach me anything. I won't do anything he tells me to do because we just don't work that way. We work well, but I don't listen to him. I would take the car by yourself and just go fucking practice until you get it right.
Yeah.
That's the best thing to do. That's what I did.
Once you have a rear-wheel drive car, some cars obviously are this fucking thing, if you want to do burnouts, is like dropping your food on the ground. All I want to do burnouts, you apply throttle and copious smoke comes out of the back end. Now, controlling it is totally different, but
it's a maniac.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, I have videos, if you watch, I had a gold 2000 Mustang GT, a 2-valve. It made 200 horsepower to the tire, and I would do burnouts, donuts into third gear, and people are like, how is this thing so powerful? And I'm like, it makes 200. It's stock horsepower.
Watch the gold Mustang.
There's a stock motor, but I had 410s in the back, and I just have good car control. Yeah, it's stuff you learn from screwing around. What you don't want to do is screw around around a bunch of people.
I think I fell in love with you. That fucking driving technique. That was pretty incredible.
People were commenting on this one where they're like, you can drive. And I'm like, yeah, it's almost like I've driven 700 horsepower cars for 10 years. Long time listener, first time caller. That's like the 40th time we heard that today.
Whatever.
Thank you. Thanks for 0 posts. I can't believe how many people have signed up for LS1tech. February 17. Everyone signs up for LS1tech just to get on these videos, which is fine with me. It's
They just
easy
want
to
ask you questions.
it's easy to control it because on Facebook I have like a million questions and everything else is it's too much to read.
So for people that try to ask Matt questions on Facebook, on YouTube, on any other thing, he's
This
not
is
going to answer
This is
you.
the best platform,
He's
honestly.
not going to answer. So stop asking, how do I ask Matt a question?
Thanks for all the info. Doing what you've done has inspired me to get back into being a sloppy mechanic. No need to type back. Watch the videos. When you tune with HP tuners, use the stock knock sensors to detect knock or as a separate knock sensor. I'm road tuning, not on a dyno. Cheers, New Zealand, a fucking Kiwi. Well, I mean, you can use the knock sensors, but in my opinion, I've said this a bunch of times, you might have missed it on some of the videos. An LS car will, on a here's the thing. If you're on my dyno and you're dynoing stuff to rear wheel horsepower and you have a 300 horsepower stock LS1 and you're at 22 degrees of timing, 18 in the mid-range, 3800, 22 degrees at 6,000 plus, and it makes 300 tire, let's just say that, you can probably get to about 25 degrees and not have any ping but not make any power. So you could, I mean, for all motor, sure, you could push till knock and take like 2-3 degrees out, no problem. But in my opinion and in my experience, LS motors will stop making power 3 to 5 degrees before they knock. So if you're tuning for knock, you're already over the curve, like what I call the ignition curve. Say you make peak horsepower here at 18 and you go 20, 22, it doesn't knock, 24, and then it knocks, you're not making any power on the back side of that curve. So one way you could do that is just push up to knock and pull 2-3 degrees out, all motor easily, and then run at the track and take even more or less out. You might find that the car doesn't knock on 24, but runs the same goddamn trap speed at 20. So that's 4 degrees less. So you're a little bit above your curve. You can check out your plugs and see how that stuff works if you start chasing the end of your negative strap and some other stuff, but some people say that's voodoo magic. Some cars it works really great. All of that stuff combined, checking your trap, checking your rear wheel, checking your strap on the plug, all of it works together really well in my opinion. I do all of it at once sometimes, educated guess, and sometimes a lot of shrugging. But I hope that makes sense. And that, I think, is the last one. All right, that is it. We are frozen, and it is late, so I will upload this. Thank you, guys. Bye.